Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up with YPN. My name is Jenna Poch. I am the YPN chair, and I am accompanied by Evan Lobdell, the ICAAR communications director. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, Jenna?
Good. Long time no see.
I know. Feels like it's been forever since we had a nice little lunch.
Yeah. So today we are going to talk a little bit about YPN Advance, what it is, some of the things that we experienced while we were there, and then kind of open it up to questions for anybody who's listening or watching who might be curious. So we went to YPN Advance, which is part of the National Association of Realtors Leadership Week, which was in Chicago this year. So a little bit about what we did was just we met with other chapters from across the country. There were even some from Canada there. So there are currently about 330 YPNs nationwide. And so representatives, whether it's the chair, vice chair, or staff liaisons, came so that we could network, learn, and all grow together. But first off, before we kind of get into that, we need to introduce, for those of you who have not had the opportunity to meet him yet, Evan, will you introduce yourself, talk a little bit about who you are, your role at ICAAR, and a fun fact.
Oh, a fun fact? Okay.
I know, I just threw that one on you.
No, I love it. So my name is Evan Lobdell. I'm the communications director at ICAAR. I started late May, so I've been here about 2.5 months at this point. And I kind of wear a lot of hats. I run our Facebook and our Instagram pages, so I create and schedule content for that. I do the weekly newsletters and all those emails that fill up your inbox. That's from me, so apologies for all of that. And then I help run our events like Wake Up with YPN and the golf outing and inaugural. It's kind of help plan out with things like that. So I'm usually on the other side of this broadcast, so it's a little bit exciting to be on to be one of the faces of it right now. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I do. A couple different things, but a lot of the content that you see on our social media and email is me.
Yeah, so if you've been seeing some of the cool videos that have been coming out recently with interviews from board members and people at ICAAR, that's all Evan. So it's been looking good.
Thank you. It's fun. I'm really enjoying it so far.
So as the communications director and our staff liaison, if people have questions or things that they need to ever reach out to you about, what are some of those things?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you have questions about upcoming events or upcoming classes that we're going to be offering at ICAAR, you can always email me and reach out about that. I'm always open to taking in stories or stats that you think are really worthy of featuring and creating stories based on that. I enjoy that. If you're interested in working for one of our events, volunteering or being an affiliate, I'm also happy to take that information. And I'm also currently running the Committed to Community series on our Instagram and Facebook, which is all about our members who are out there in the community kind of making change and kind of digging in their roots and trying to make the Iowa City area even better. So if you have a realtor you'd like to nominate, or if you yourself want to nominate yourself, you can please reach out, and I'd be happy to work with you and feature you with that.
Perfect. Okay, and then what's your fun fact?
My fun fact is I cannot do a somersault. I've never been able to. I think I'm a little too lanky. There's a little bit too much leg going on in my body, and I just
gosh,
I can't get myself over.
I was not expecting that as a fun fact. I love it.
Kind of panicked. That one came to mind.
Okay, now that we have that out of the way, we can kind of get into YPN Advance. So while we explain a little bit about YPN Advance and what it was, for those of you that are watching or maybe watch this after and aren't quite sure what that is or even what YPN is, if you're a newer agent, you've never heard about it before. So YPN is Young Professionals Network that is a committee within ICAAR, but then it is a chapter of many YPN networks throughout the nation, part of the National Association of Realtors. And so what we strive to do is help young professionals with education, experiences, community outreach, just kind of digging in to what it means to truly represent this profession as a realtor. So, and it doesn't just have to be realtor, but that's just the chapter that we belong to as being a part of the National Association of Realtors. Oh crap, I made my camera bounce. Sorry guys. So with YPN Advance, kind of like I touched on at the very beginning, chairpersons, vice chairs, staff liaisons get the opportunity to meet and network with others from across the nation. So we all met in Chicago. Honestly, it was amazing. It was a day and a half of education, tons of motivation, lots of talk on leadership and what it means to be a true leader. And, you're not just a leader because you lead other people. You're a leader in your everyday life and, the things and values you represent. So, yeah. Sorry, I was looking at my notes. It's a Monday. So Evan and I were there in the second half of the week, and the first half of the week, the incoming president, Paul Park, and the CEO, Megan, were there for the Leadership Summit. So it's kind of an all-encompassing week with, varying parts of the association. There was a section in the conference so for most of it, Evan and I were able to participate together, but then there was a section where the agents broke off from communications and staff liaison. So Evan, do you want to talk a little bit about your experience with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so that Friday morning, we kind of just all gathered together as staff in one of the smaller conference rooms and just kind of talked about our own experiences. I thought it was cool. Originally, it was kind of be broken up by your membership size. But Rob, the guy in charge, was just saying, we should just have a big group conversation because we all do have the same experience doing the same things. And so we talked a lot about the difference between a YPN committee versus a YPN board and how some of that works better for bigger associations and some works better for smaller associations. We talked a little bit about the different events that people pull off, the resources that they use. I thought one thing that was really interesting is that there's an app called Clubhouse that they were talking about. And every Wednesday morning, there's like a big YPN Clubhouse where they come in and talk about kind of important things going on in the world of real estate and the future of YPN and the future of the market and things like that. So that was a resource that I thought was kind of cool. I have it downloaded on my phone. I think I'm going to tune in this Wednesday morning and see what it's all about. But yeah, we talked a lot about how we balance things as staff and how our role, it can be easy to think that as the staff liaison, you kind of just sit back in the corner and don't really do much, but how we also have a really important role in this committee and in the future of YPN. So it's cool to hear other people's experiences, their ideas, their advice, things like that.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, you don't just sit back in a corner. Like everything that we try to do, like you and Megan have helped us succeed with. So, I mean, you guys are doing everything. You're the man behind the curtain.
Thank you. Yeah, and did you find that the realtor track, that kind of focused area, was that helpful for you?
Yeah, no, and absolutely. So a lot of that wasn't focusing on YPN as a committee or as a board. It was focusing on just professional development. So there was a lot of talk about professionalism, how to represent yourself as a true professional, not just to your clients, but to other realtors and agents within your association and nationwide. Because as realtors, not just licensees, but as realtors, we have the expectation of professionalism and making sure that we are setting the standard for other agents, being that agent that you want to work with, that you want somebody to be excited. Oh, I have a deal with you. Yes, let's go. Let's do this. So we talked a lot about that. We talked about leadership because as professionals even if you are not a leader, let's say on a team or in your office, you are a leader somewhere within the community. So talking about the importance of, what those main pillars of being a true leader are, which, so the incoming president, Kenny Parcell, I love his. So his 5 L's of leadership were lead, learn, love, laugh, and legacy. So I thought that was kind of cool. But then, sorry, I have probably 10 pages of notes I have scrolled out in front of me because there was so much good information. I feel like we have like information for probably like 10 of these things.
Oh, yeah, we could go on for like an hour.
Just to kind of like pare it down a little bit. So so there were 4 main takeaways that I really had from this. The first I talked about was, professionalism being the standard of professional that you want to work with. Another big topic that we talked about was RPAC. So a lot of veteran agents will know exactly what RPAC is. For newer agents who don't know what RPAC is, it is the Realtor Political Action Committee, which it is, it's a realtor party that will help advance our profession. So it doesn't just help protect our profession and industry. It also helps with the goal of protecting private property ownership rights, and a big focus on fair housing and housing affordability. So we can't really, that's its whole thing that we could talk about, but I just kind of wanted to touch on that and how if you ever hear the term RPAC, let it perk up your ears because it's a really, really important part of this profession and the longevity of it. So, and I want to make a plug really quick here about that. This Wednesday is the RPAC Roadshow. So the breakfast this Wednesday. So make sure that you attend that. Any agents out there listening to this, make sure you find it. You can find more details on ICAAR's website. The third other thing was really learning from other YPNs, which, we kind of talked about that a little bit, the differences of the sizes. But one thing I thought was kind of interesting as, from the, committee side of it, sharing, like there was a lot of sharing of similar struggles of like member attendance and engagement. And as leaders, good ways of going about and making sure that, we're maintaining that. And I feel like I'm just talking. I'm sorry.
No worries at all. No, it's all good stuff. Yeah, no, it's all good stuff. And I was really kind of thinking when you brought up the leadership idea, right? How people in YPN serve as leaders, both in brokerages and in communities too. And we can see, our own members, some of our really amazing members have been a part of this YPN. Paul Park was the YPN chair. He attended these. He loved these. He's going to be our upcoming president. Whitney Stormer, Brooke Bandorf, all these wonderful agents that have been a part of YPN.
Brooke Bandorf.
Yes, yeah. So the leadership that you get to build as well, and to hear from other agents and their experience with it was really awesome. I thought, even as someone who doesn't do that, it's just on staff. It's really awesome to see how much being a part of the Young Professionals Network can kind of advance you and the skills that you learn and the networking that happens.
Absolutely. And I'm actually trying to go through and, okay, I found it. So I thought this was pretty cool. One of the comments that one of the speakers made is YPN is truly the backbone of the National Association of Realtors, because did you know the average age of the realtors is 57 years old? So we need to grow more leaders in real estate, and taking part in any form of the association will truly help advance your career, whether it's in gaining more knowledge about the association or networking with other people. Kind of leading that to springboard into the fourth thing that I thought was really cool that we talked about was the importance of networking within real estate. And not just in the sense of how it's going to grow your business, but also how it's going to grow you personally. So I thought it was kind of cool, people talking about the different ways that they use networking within the industry. And there are people that I met at YPN Advance who most of their business, I mean, this isn't, something that a lot of agents do, but it was something that worked specifically for these people with the season of life that they're in, where most of their business is referral based. So it's, being that connector piece for other people in different parts of the country, being able to, use that as a main source of income for them. I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, agreed. And yeah, again, on the staff end too, I mean, hearing about different events that people put on, different ways that people do things. There is a karaoke event that's been popular for other YPN committees. So be on the lookout, people, because you might be up on the mic a little bit soon if we put that into action. But yeah, looking at events like that, karaoke, ideas about branding, ideas about work-life balance. I thought that was a really cool panel where you got to hear other members just talk about their own experience with trying to balance all these things going on in their lives. And at the same time, getting to talk a little bit about what we do and the awesome resources that we have. I know when I was talking to people, a lot of them weren't familiar with StreamYard or streaming Wake Up with YPN like we do. I saw a lot of people writing that down. And just being able to talk about some of the advantages and the cool things that we get to do as our association and our community, the way that we're able to connect people from different brokerages and get these affiliates and work together to put together these awesome events. I think people were pretty impressed. I think we were a small but mighty rep at this point.
No, absolutely. And going back to what you said earlier about past chairs, it is being able to go there and contribute the way that we were able to is a true testament to the work and effort that those other people have put into this, and also to you and Megan and the work that you guys have done. And then I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit about getting involved with ICAAR and how you can do that. And if there are any newer agent, whether you're a newer agent or you're a seasoned agent, and if you've never been involved within ICAAR or committees, how you can go about doing that.
Yeah.
So signups are coming up this fall. They haven't been sent out yet. It's always around the time of inaugural. So if you got an email about inaugural, which I'm sure you have, that's also when we have kind of the changeover of these different committees. So the board of director applications are open now until the end of the month. Do you want to just do a brief list of what those different positions are?
Yeah, of course. So we have 4 positions open with our board of directors this year. It is the vice president, which is that kind of 4-year cycle where you're vice president, president-elect, president, and then past president. We have a treasurer role that's open, which is 2 years. We have a 2-year director role that's opening up on the board of directors. And we also have the MLS chair position that is opening up for the MLS committee, who sits on the board. You have to be a broker for that one. But yes, those applications are up on ICAAR.org. They're open through August 29th, so you still have a couple more weeks to put that in if you're interested. And I mean, from what I've been hearing from everyone that I've been able to talk to about it is, if you're interested in it, please get out there and just apply and see what happens. Your voice is so important. Different voices are so important. And this board thrives on those new voices coming in and helping you out in those new ideas. So if you're interested, definitely encourage that. And this is just kind of the season, for these applications. We have board of directors, committee applications will be opening up at the end of August as well. The beginning of, end of August, beginning of September is when those committee chair applications. And then as you mentioned, once inaugural comes around, that's when those kind of committee rollings happen and people get to join.
And so I do have to say, if you have never been a part of a committee, please consider it. From anybody that I have spoken to that has been a part of a committee within the association, they have never regretted it. I've never heard someone say, oh man, this took up too much time, or I really wish I wouldn't have done that. Yes, it's a voluntary position, but the return that you get back and the relationships that you make is completely invaluable to, just your life and your business. So please go to the ICAAR website and take a look at what some of those committees are, and really think about applying. If you're out there and you've been involved and there is an agent you think that might be an asset to the association, don't hesitate to reach out and kind of tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, you should definitely look into this. I mean, I know that when I applied, I had no idea what it meant, what I was doing, but there was an agent that I worked with that was like, hey, I think that you should do this. And it ended up being one of the best things that I've done. So definitely consider it. I already plugged the RPAC Roadshow. That was last on my list. Yes. So I want to close this out the way that I think you were still in the communications part of it, but the way that we closed it out for the realtor track was, let me get my list.
Oh, is this the campfire thing?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. I was worried. I came prepared just in case.
Yay! So one of the closing thing about campfire, just kind of opening up, getting to know people a little bit more. One of the things recommended from one of the speakers there was to always ask people, what are you listening to? What are you watching? And what are you reading? So Evan, what are you listening to? What are you watching? What are you reading?
I have been listening. There's this band called Peach Pit that I've been really into. They had a new album come out like in past recent months. I'm really into them. But my music taste is kind of all over the place. So I say Peach Pit. I'm listening to them. I am watching Stranger Things season 4 with my girlfriend. We're a little bit late to it, but we just caught up on season 3. So we're about to start the newest season and check that out because everyone's been saying that's the best show in the world. Yeah. And I'm reading this book called Devil in the White City.
You even brought it.
I brought it because I thought you might bring this up. I was ready. Devil in the White City. And it's kind of, it's cool. It's all about the World Fair that happened in Chicago in 1893. It kind of talks about the history of it, but kind of dark. There's like a murderer there as well.
Yeah, I read it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's a cool. It covers kind of the historical part and also that story. So it's cool. The guy balances it really, really well. Where it's all true and historical, but it feels like a fiction book.
Oh yeah, no, it's good. Yeah. Thank you. I'm so happy that you brought that.
I was ready. What about you?
Oh my gosh. See, that's the thing. I wasn't prepared, but because I was only set to ask you. Okay, what am I listening to? I listen to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks when I'm in the car. So, oh gosh, what are some of them I'm listening to? Never Split the Difference. That one's a good one. And then Taking the Leap is another good one that I've been listening to. And then I also listen to a lot of little kids' music. But what am I watching? This is embarrassing, but yeah, this is really embarrassing. But I like something that I watch to help my brain shut off is Real Housewives. I like to
yeah.
Any of them. I'm good with any of them. Love them all. They're all crazy. And then what am I reading? Oh my gosh. Oh, Do Epic Shit. I don't know if I can say it. Oh my gosh. It's a book title. It's really good. Go check it out. On that note.
Love it. Well, yeah, Jenna, thanks for having me on today. I appreciate it
so much for being here.
On the other side. I mean, same to you and to all the people that have been watching or may watch again. Thank you. If you are interested, this was awesome. I thought it was really beneficial for me, even being on staff. Jenna, I hope for you as an Asian and in the chair, it was really beneficial.
Oh my gosh, yes. And if anybody out there who has watched this wants to chat more about it, let's do it, because I have 5 pages of notes that we can go over, and I can share all of it.
I got plenty too. Yeah. YPN is awesome committee. All of our committees are awesome. So if you do have any interest, please do check out those applications. You can always email me too. It's just evan@icar.org. I'm happy to give out some more information, and be on the lookout because a little video featuring Jenna might be coming out in the next couple weeks as well. So be on the lookout for that as committee application season rolls around.
Oh, good. Okay, I'll see you later. Thanks so much, Evan. And see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah, looking forward to it.